Hey Bliss Bunnies, Melanie here, Experiments in Bliss. It's so good to be back on this journey with you. I know that I've been MIA for a hot minute, and I will talk a little bit about why in just a minute. But I just wanted to let you know that I'm back, and I'm really happy to be back with you, and I can't wait to get started making regular videos again so that we can explore this blissful state of being together. And if you haven't already, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button below so that you can come along on the ride as well, and I guarantee that it will be a lot of fun. All right, here we go. So, just a little bit about what I've been doing since my last video. For those of you who don't know, I was in Bali for, I guess it was a little over a month and a half. I think that's right. And for most of that time, for a month of that time, I was staying in a little town called Ahmed. It's a little fishing village on the slightly northern west coast of Bali. I think it's about 2 hours north of Ubud, and it's a beautiful, beautiful place. Mountains in the shadow of a volcano, beautiful ocean. It's a gorgeous place to be. However, it is apparently not the place for me, at least not at this moment. And this is a really interesting lesson for me to learn, because I have been dreaming about Bali. I felt really called to Bali for over a decade, I think. And I was really expecting to feel much more connected while I was there and to feel a sense of home, I guess. I don't know if that's exactly the word that I want to use, but that's what I'm going to go with right now. And it was really interesting to find out that that was not my experience at all. In fact, much of my experience was really uncomfortable. I was kind of miserable a lot while I was there. And to be fair, I think the biggest piece of why that was that I was really having a hard time finding food that I could eat that really fed my body and really fed my whole self in the way that I'm used to being fed. Surprisingly, high quality ripe fruit is really difficult to find in a lot of places in Bali. I stayed in Ahmed for a month, but I did do an overnight trip to Ubud, and I was 5 days in Canggu and a couple of days in Seminyak. I will say that I did really enjoy my time in Canggu and Seminyak, but did not have a lot of ease or a lot of contentment in Ahmed or Ubud. So the food situation was so bad for me that I got food poisoning twice in, I think it was around in the matter of a week. So that was unpleasant. Yeah, and I just didn't feel good. I didn't feel good. And when I don't feel good, especially when traveling, it makes it really hard for me to get excited about going out and exploring, or reaching out to people, or just, wanting to do anything other than lay in bed. So I got to the point where that's kind of what I was doing. I laid in bed a lot. But while I was laying in bed, I was really trying to consciously take the time to look for the positive in all of the contrast. I was doing it still am doing a lot of work with the law of attraction, doing a lot of work with Abraham and Esther Hicks. If you're not familiar, feel free to look them up online. Really, really amazing law of attraction work that they do. And just learning how to process and recognize that contrast is a necessary part of life journey. And it's not so much about removing contrast from my life, but it's more about learning how to use contrast as a tool to get clearer on what it is that I want and what it is that I don't want in my life. So I was spending a lot of time really working on trying to find the positive aspects of the contrast that I was experiencing. And it was work at certain points because I really had a few moments of being just really miserable when I was in Bali. So strange. But anyway, once I started really trying to open myself up to the positive side of it and really trying to use it as a tool to start getting clearer, I won't say that things got great, but they did get easier. And it gave me an opportunity to really start looking at what it is I'm working toward and really trying to get clear on what I'm doing with my life. And I think I've been working with that for a really long time, and I'm not finished. I'm still working. But I just find that I get more and more clarity as I move along the journey. And I really have faith that I'm going to get there. And that I'm going to get there, before too long. I don't really know what that means, but I feel positive about the path. I feel positive about the journey I'm on. I am also feeling really, really happy to be out of Asia. I was really ready to go. So I'm in the UK now, currently in Brighton, in England, and Brighton is beautiful. I absolutely love it here. It is so beautiful. The architecture is amazing. The Brighton Pier is so beautiful and nostalgic, and the seaside is amazing. The parks here are glorious. It's just really, I really like it here. I'm really happy here. I'm currently house sitting. I'm taking care of 2 sweet little doggies and a cat. And I'm just really regrouping and sort of coming back to center after being off kilter for the past month and a half. So hopefully we'll get back on track and I can start sharing some things with you that might be a little bit beneficial for you. And we'll talk a little bit more about some of the law of attraction stuff, get a little bit more specific on some food issues, and maybe do some recipes. I'm doing house sitting in 4 different places during the next couple of months while I'm in the UK, so depending on what my kitchen situation is, we may or may not get to do some good recipe work. But hopefully we can, because I'm really excited about that. Yeah, so I hope that you've been well. I'm going to leave you with some footage of my time in Bali, because even though I was a little bit miserable, it is a beautiful place, and my discomfort there had nothing to do with any fault on the part of Bali. Bali is beautiful and magical. The people are so generous and giving and happy to share of their home with anyone who comes in. I mean, it is a lovely place. It was just I can't even say it wasn't the place for me. It wasn't the place I expected it to be for me, but I got what I needed from it. I feel like it was really important, the work that I was doing there. It was really important for me to go through that contrast and to experience what I did and to really start doing that deeper internal work. So please don't let my experience hinder you from going. All right, I hope that you're all very well, and I will look forward to seeing you very soon in another video. I love you so much. Bye.